Hey everybody, Paul here with Pretty Good Golf, and in this video I am very excited to bring you a test to see which of the 3 biggest drivers of 2025 are going to be the best for the average golfer like me and hopefully like you. So here's how this test is going to work. I'm going to hit each driver and I'm going to take as many swings as it takes to get 10 good shots with each driver. I will then compare all of the data, including all the bad swings, and then I'll take them out to give you a more representative sample so that I have 10 good swings with each driver to help you understand how they perform, how somebody with an average swing speed like myself hits each of them, and hopefully what might be the best driver for you. So first up, I have the Callaway Elite. This is just a standard Elite model. It has a 13-gram weight in the back that can be moved to either be draw or fade biased or neutral. That's where I've got mine set. This is at 9 degrees, just like all of the heads in this test. And I'm going to be using the Ventus Black 6X shaft for each of them and a Titleist Pro V1 ball for all of my tests. So here we go, 10 good shots with the Callaway Elite. All right, so just at address here, this driver looks great. It's got a carbon crown. It's a little bit more matte finish than the shinier AI Smoke of last year. It has a chevron on the top, which I kind of like. I tried out the triple diamond. It did not have that. And I do find that that just kind of gives me a bit more confidence that I'm lining the ball up properly. But anyway, here we go. 10 good shots with the Callaway Elite. That one's looking okay, 152 ball speed, peeled a bit to the right, but it still carried like 152, rolled out to 270. That's a good start. That's pretty straight, 153 miles an hour ball speed. That one did spin up to about 2,800 RPMs of backspin, probably because I hit it a bit low on the face, but it still rolled out to 274. Oh. That one must have been high on the face. 149 ball speed, a little slower, but 262 carry, lower spin, rolled out to about 285, 286. Yeah, that was high toe, which is not bad, but only 2,100 RPM backspin. Oh yeah, that one looks good. 151 miles an hour ball speed, 262 carry at 2,200 backspin. That's gonna be tough to beat. 285 total. It's pretty dead straight. 153 miles an hour ball speed, 257 carry at 2,700 backspin, like 6 yards offline, 280 total. Okay, another decent one. 152 miles an hour ball speed, right down the middle line. Jumped over the flag, rolled out to 286. This is a pretty easy set so far. 155 ball speed, 264 carry at around 2,500 backspin. Again, rolling over the green, rolls out to 280. That one's peeling a little bit more, only 150 miles an hour ball speed. 250 carry, it spun up to 2,800, mostly because I probably had the face open a little bit, but still 270 total. Yeah, that one felt like I had the face open a little too much. So it's only 247 carry, still 151 ball speed. Gonna roll out to almost 270, but pretty far offline to the right. So far that was 9 swings, and I'd say 9 acceptable shots. I haven't had to take any out yet, so that's a pretty good sign with this Callaway so far. Nice. I thought I was going to jinx myself by saying that, but 260 carry, only 147 ball speed, but that's because I'm pretty sure that was another high toe. Low spin. Swing speed was a little bit down too, but still 284 total. That is a good set with the Callaway. Okay, so Callaway Elite only took me 10 swings to get 10 totally acceptable shots. There were 2 that were about 30 yards right, but that's what I'm gonna call acceptable. None that were duck hooks or like totally out of bounds to the right. So really impressed with that so far. Next up, we have the Ping G440 Max. This is one that I have hit before and I loved, And that's why I wanted to compare it against the TaylorMade QI35, also one that I loved, and the Callaway Elite, which I am a big fan of. So without further ado, let's see how many shots it takes to get 10 good ones with the Ping G440 Max. Okay, the Ping's a little different than the Callaway. It has these turbulators on the top, which I actually kind of like this year. Last year I wasn't a fan, but I don't know, something changed in me, I guess. And it just kind of gives me some confidence when I stand over the ball with it. It's a good start with the Ping, high launch, 149 miles an hour ball speed, 256 carry at 2300 backspin. Rolls out to like 280 on the green there, that's excellent. There we go, that's a good one. 153 ball speed, 263 carry at 2400 RPMs backspin, rolls out to 283. There's a good one. 151 miles an hour ball speed, 254 carry, 2700 backspin, high launch, rolls out to like 275, 280. That's a drop kick, but it's going so far. 148 miles an hour ball speed, but 266 carry, very low spin at 1700 off the top of the club, but that rolled out to 293. Kind of fell over there, but it still worked great. 152 miles an hour ball speed, 251 carry, rolls out to about 272. There we go. 152 miles an hour ball speed, 254 carry at 2800 backspin. Again, I think I might have hit it low on the head, which maybe spun it up a little bit, but still 276 yards. I really did not think that was going to go so well. 264 yards carry, 152 miles an hour ball speed at about 2300 RPMs backspin. Nice, I love that shot. 262 yards carry, 152 miles an hour at 2400 backspin. 8 yards offline, that's great. Nice, that'll work. 154 miles an hour ball speed, 263 carry, maybe 20 yards offline, rolls out to 285. All right, good set with the Ping. That took about 13 shots to get 10 good ones. There were a couple that were maybe just too much right and just too much left to call in the fairway, but still really solid performance with the Ping. Last but definitely not least is the TaylorMade QI35. This is the core model. So it's not the Max, it's not the LS, and there's only two weights. There's a heavier one in the back and a lighter one in the front that you can actually switch, but I've got them in the standard configuration. I have tested this before. It surprised me the most out of any of the drivers I've tested so far because previous year TaylorMades I couldn't personally hit very well, but I am very excited to see how this stacks up against the Callaway, which had awesome performance and forgiveness for me, and that Ping, which had some seriously long balls. So let's get 10 good shots with the TaylorMade QI35. And just a quick reminder for the TaylorMade, I've got a 9-degree head, I've got the Ventus Black 6X shaft, and a Titleist Pro V1. All right, so standing over the TaylorMade, it's got a nice looking carbon crown, at least I think so. It's a little glossy, a little shiny, but it looks quite professional. And then I do actually quite like the carbon face. I feel like it gives it a good sound. All right, 10 good shots with the TaylorMade QI35. That's a good start, holy man. 271 yards carry at 152 miles an hour ball speed. That is a low spin bomb and I never see 300 total yards. So 1600 backspin is really what did that. I would say that is not a serviceable ball flight. It was kind of a fluke, but pretty cool to see. Reasonable, 148 miles an hour ball speed, but 261 yards of carry. That surprised me too, but again, really low spin. That was only 1700 RPMs of backspin. There we go, that's a better strike. I'm keeping it in the fairway. 259 yards of carry, 151 ball speed, 2,300 RPMs of backspin. That's ideal. I love that. That's a good drive. I like that. 151 miles an hour ball speed, 263 carry. It's going to land just off the line. Roll out to 287, 288. Very nice. Here's a good looking shot. 151 miles an hour ball speed, 263 carry, 2,200 RPMs of backspin. Rolls out just over 285. There we go. That is good. 269 yards of carry at 150 miles an hour ball speed. That's low spin though. 1,600 backspin. Man, this thing is seriously low spin. That was 1,000 RPMs of backspin on that one. I'm gonna keep that shot in, but that's interesting. Oh, okay. Maybe a fairway finder. 248 yards of carry, 151 miles an hour ball speed, but it spun up to about 3,000, so it's only gonna carry to, or total is gonna be 269. Good one to end on. 155 miles an hour ball speed, 267 carry, 2,200 backspin. That's pretty much ideal. Rolls out to 293. So very interesting set with the TaylorMade QI35. It had some serious bombs. I hit one 300 yards, which almost never happens, but a lot of them were like sub 2,000 RPMs of backspin, which is kind of dangerous. I definitely had some left misses going on, and you'll see that in the data. I'm gonna show you every single shot, the bad and the good, and then I'll pair it back to 10 representative shots for each club so that you can get a better idea of how these clubs perform without my sort of average to terrible swing causing problems with the data. Okay, so first up, I'll just show you all of the data here. So the Callaway Elite only took me 10 shots to get 10 representative shots, so that was really good. I had one that was 36 yards offline to the right, but I'm gonna count that, it's pretty close. So we're gonna go with that data for the Callaway. The Ping took me 13 shots to get 10 representative ones. I had a couple of left misses here. You can see 47 yards left. There's one way off to the right. And then I am gonna probably end up keeping one of these 40-yard ones. This one was almost a perfect shot. I just kind of pulled it to the left. So 13 swings, 10 good shots with the Ping. The TaylorMade was a bit of a different story. I had some serious potential. I hit one 300 yards, which is something I pretty much never do. But there were quite a few that I was either pulling left here, left. This one was 50 yards left that I'm gonna have to disable when I do show you those representative shots. But I found like, okay, here's a terrible one. That one actually had 900 of total spin, including backspin and side spin. It was just like a duck that dove right into the ground. I'll show you that first and then we'll remove it. So here's what that looks like with all shots kept in. We'll compare these clubs. So kind of interestingly, that big circle is the TaylorMade circle. That's because I had a shot that only went 150 yards. I had one that went 300 yards. Don't look at that yet. We're gonna bring that in. Those were my fault, not the club's fault. But as you can see, the Callaway had 151 ball speed, the Ping was 152, TaylorMade had 150, but again, there's some pretty terrible shots in there. Really low spin average with the TaylorMade for all shots. Ping and Callaway averaged around 2,500 RPMs across all shots. That's a little bit more representative of what I'm looking for. If I'm trying to decide on something that is gonna be more forgiving, more consistent, I don't know if I would go for the TaylorMade, but as we're gonna see when I remove some of those bad shots, the TaylorMade, I think, performed really, really well. So here's the club data across all of the shots. You can see the strike pattern was just a little bit toe. TaylorMade was a bit high on the face, and the Ping and Callaway were sort of more centered, Ping being slightly lower on average. All of them, I was swinging around 105 miles an hour. This will be tighter again once I remove some of those bad swings. And path, for some reason I was swinging the Callaway and the Ping outside in, or swinging left, basically like a fade swing about 5 degrees, and the TaylorMade was only half that at about 2.5 degrees swinging left on average. So interesting to note. I think maybe just something how the club sets up or the shape. made me feel like I had to swing differently with it. So that's the comparison with all shots kept in. Now let's remove some of those terrible ones and compare apples to apples. Okay, here's a better, more representative story of what actually happened with these clubs. These are with 10 good shots kept in. Again, the Callaway, it only took me 10 shots for this. The Ping was 13 and the TaylorMade was 14 shots. However, the TaylorMade was a bit of a wilder swing for me where I had some serious distance on some and some that didn't really go very far or went super far to the left. But we can see ball speed is really consistent across all of them. The Callaway, the Ping, the TaylorMade all averaged right on 151 miles an hour of ball speed. Launch angle was pretty similar in all of them at 14, 14 and a half, almost 15 with the Callaway. The big difference here that I noticed and you noticed is the total spin. So backspin on the Callaway and Ping was pretty much perfect for what I'm looking for. Something that's gonna help me control the ball, keep it in the fairway, 2,500 RPM backspin. The TaylorMade, I had some that were like 1,500. I had one under 1,000. Nothing spun much more than about 2,400 with the TaylorMade, but that was creating some serious distance. I was getting an average of 264 yards carry and 288 yards total with the TaylorMade. Whereas the Ping and the Callaway were a little lower, 259 yards carry with the Callaway, 260 yards of carry with the Ping, rolling out to 279 for the Callaway and rolling out to 280 with the Ping. And that is pretty much exactly what I expect when I test new drivers that I can swing well, is this exact setup, 260 and 280. If we look at the dispersion circles, we can see that the Callaway Elite probably had the tightest dispersion here. That's that inner green circle. And I did find it was easier to hit. It kind of faded off the middle, just to the right a little bit. Really predictable, really easy to hit. The Ping for me, I did have some hard left misses as well as some hard right. So I was getting a two-way miss with the Ping, although it performed really well. It was a little less consistent. And then, well, the TaylorMade, I did have some wild swings with it. With those removed, it had a reasonable dispersion circle. It's that sort of middle green one that's kind of averaging in the middle of the fairway, but I did hit some left, I did hit some right. It was a little less predictable than the Callaway, I would say. And then looking at club data, we're gonna see swing speed is pretty similar across the board, 105, 105, 105. We got 0.8 more maybe, or 0.5 more with the Callaway, but that doesn't really mean much. And like I mentioned earlier, the path did change when I started hitting that TaylorMade. For whatever reason, my swing went less right to left, meaning less of a fade swing. Like it was 5 degrees outside in with the Callaway and the Ping, but I was only at 2.5 degrees outside in with the TaylorMade for whatever reason. That may have caused some changes in spin, but to be honest, that's just probably my swing that I don't have dialed in quite yet to keep it consistent. So quick summary here, the Callaway for me was the most consistent and had great performance, kept up with the Ping, a little bit less distance than the TaylorMade, but that's because the spin was in a more reasonable window with that Callaway. So for me, I'm gonna say Callaway was my first choice, Ping would be a very close second, and TaylorMade would be something that if I wanted to try and create a long bomber, I would definitely pull out the TaylorMade QI35, try and keep the spin around 2,000 and see if I can hit some 300-yard drives. So there we have it, the 3 drivers that I think the average golfer is gonna love in 2025. My first choice was the Callaway Elite, and that's just really because the performance was so predictable and it was so forgiving for me, and it really did keep up with the ball speed and distance with the Ping. Second place, I would go with the Ping because it had very similar performance, maybe 1 yard longer than the Callaway for me, and I was getting a bit of a left miss as well as a right miss, whereas the Callaway, I was kind of keeping just a little fade to the right side of the fairway most of the time. And then definitely not least, but last in my test was the TaylorMade QI35. I had a 300-yard drive that almost never happens for me. It was such a low spin monster that I could bomb some, but then some would duck hook and dive bomb and only carry like 230. I had one carry like 150 yards because it had under 1,000 RPMs of backspin. But if you can get fit in that QI35 and dial in that spin window, you could have yourself a monster driver. So for me, I'm keeping it in the Callaway family, I guess. That was a fun test, and I hope it was helpful for you. I hope you get a chance to try all 3 of these drivers. It was a blast testing them out. And if you like this video, if you found it useful or entertaining at all, please subscribe. That really helps. I'm under 100 subscribers at the moment, but it's really fun to watch this channel grow. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.